All right, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to do a n8n beginner chatbot workshop. I'm going to show you how to create a RAG chatbot literally within minutes. If you don't know what RAG is, it stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. And as a concept, basically what you're doing is adding additional or external data to the chat session or chat bot, if you will, and having additional data available as a knowledge set for that language model to be able to interface with you and have additional reference points, right, to uh, interact in that chat session. Basically, you're adding more data to the data source that the language model has access to that it might not have access to as part of this training data. All right, so that's RAG as a concept. And if you've seen any sort of AI related content or material, articles, etc., RAG is sort of the new approach and being able to have better uh, and smarter language models accessible to us. So all that said, well, what do we do? How do we actually create that, right? So today we're going to start with a literally blank canvas, and you'll see how quickly within n8n we'll be able to do that. So for this video and this workflow, really all we're doing is working within n8n, and we're going to be using OpenAI uh, and the API keys available within that to be able to run this chatbot. And again, you'll see how easy this will be. I think a lot of people have this idea that it's going to be very complex, but because of tools like n8n, which is a AI native workflow automation platform, similar to Zapier or Make.com, but if you've seen some of my content, I'm primarily focused on building these workflows within n8n. All right, so what do we do here to begin? Well, let's add our first step. Well, what's our first step? We have a bunch of these triggers to start the workflow. And what we're interested in today is this chat message, okay? So what we're also going to do is one of the cool things within n8n here is you can make this chat interface available basically immediately with a hosted version of this chat. And we're going to use a hosted version, but you can also do an embedded chat, and that takes a little bit more coding to do. But for what we're doing here, let's keep it simple. I'm going to ask that a file upload is going to be allowed. And then, you can further define what type of files you're going to allow where, you can say, I only want to be able to upload PDF files or images, etc. But we'll keep it and allow any type of file, right? So you can see that there's some additional options here. Click a button to start the chat. Let's turn that on. You can add a title, the subtitle, etc. So look, a lot of different options, but just this is natively built into n8n, and you can see here that's all I did was get this thing to add a chat interface to this, right? So great. Now we have a starting point for this workflow. Well, what do we do next? We want to add some sort of AI, conversational AI agent to this. So we'll use this advanced AI menu available within n8n, and we're going to use the AI agent, okay? And by using the AI agent, essentially you have just now triggered LangChain, because LangChain is natively built into n8n, which is quite amazing. None of the other platforms have that accessible. So we're going to use the conversational agent in our use case here. You can see that there are other agents available. So for example, if you want to build a pretty robust, AI agent, there is this concept of plan and execute. Basically, it's going to feed itself instead of instructions to keep building whatever sort of, prompt trigger that AI agent. But for today, again, we're going to stick with the simple stuff. Start with a conversational agent, right? And that's it. That's all I did. And you can see here now that this AI agent is connected to the chat message trigger, but we're not quite there yet. Okay, so we still got a few more things to do before we have our RAG chatbot ready to go. First thing we need to do is, well, which language model are we going to use? And again, as I mentioned, for most of the work I do, I'm using OpenAI. You have a lot of other options available to you. If you want to use those, obviously feel free to do so, but I'm already set up for OpenAI, and we're going to use the GPT-4 Mini, which is it's the fastest and also the cheaper version of the 4.0. You have access to 01, which is their latest one. It looks like it hasn't been updated with today's announcement of the 01 coming out of preview. So that is available to you. But again, let's go ahead and use the Mini. All right. So we got the language model identified. Some sort of memory, right? Well, if you upload a file or if you're chatting with this AI agent, it needs to have some sort of memory so it can hold that chat session. For this purpose, we're just going to use the window buffer memory, which is just native within n8n. You can add additional, memory tools like Postgres or Redis, but let's keep it simple. No other settings need to be defined. So we have our memory. As you're testing, right, you're going to have access to this chat interface, which is a recent update to the n8n interface. It's just nicely built into this, but for our purposes, I want to actually use the hosted version. So I'm going to copy this, right? Since this is already active, that means that hosted chat interface should be available to us. So let's paste this in, and boom, you see here, this is a hosted chat interface, that sits on the n8n instance, and anything that is triggered is going to use this workflow that you just created. All right, so let's start a new conversation. Cool. Well, I want to upload a file. And for our purpose, I'm just going to use the AYSO reference book because I am a AYSO certified referee, intermediate referee. Actually, I just got my intermediate referee this year. So we're going to say upload document here. Let's see, tell me about offsite. So here you guys can see that this, although the the response was please use the appropriate tool, it looks like the execution did run here. You can see that this PDF was uploaded to the Windows buffer memory. So we have that PDF loaded, and it did respond with the proper information about the offsides. That's really all you need to do. So let's say you come in and you have, some other document that you want to ask questions about. You can just go to this URL that you just created in terms of the chat interface. And this language model, OpenAI language model, is connected to this AI agent, and it's ready to go and ready to be published and used by whoever needs to use this. This was a very simple example of how to create a RAG chatbot using these tools, how you can build these tools yourself and not have to think that it's a very complicated process, because tools like n8n just make things a lot easier. And I think as we keep going with the advancement of both the language models and tools like n8n, this will just get easier and easier, and hopefully you guys can see that potential here and be able to create better tools for yourself and your businesses. All right. Thanks for watching this far, and I will see you next time. If you have any questions, please comment and I will get back to you pretty quickly. All right. See you guys next time. Bye.